Hello, welcome to Breakfast Central. It's the midweek edition. We're halfway through the week and the last week of the month of April. Well, I remember April Fool was just a few weeks ago. Now, why are we running to? What's going on? Why are the days...
And you're not happy about it, right?
No, I want to look young and vibrant forever. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Hello, welcome to Breakfast Central. I am Gbenga. This is where we bring you the best of everything you need to start your day. Insightful conversations, latest news, news packages, name it, humor. The right formula to start your day with this wonderful people.
Yeah. All right, speaking of wonderful people, I want to give a big virtual hug to all the wonderful people that belong to the football club that is Arsenal. Yesterday was such a tough time for Arsenal fans. PSG really, disappointed them. So we just want to say that our heart goes out to you. And my special good morning is to all the Arsenal fans. You're welcome to Breakfast Central. Thank you for joining us this morning. For the next 3 hours, we're going to not just review big stories, but also the newspaper front pages. And when we open the phone lines during the newspaper front pages, you can get to be a part of the show by calling in to share your thoughts. I am Olive MOD.
Well, it feels good to be here, and I'm saying good morning. Thank you so much for joining us, and also a major condolence to the Arsenal fans. They're really going through a lot.
It's just every a one-goal lead. Let's give them till next week.
Don't downplay a one-goal lead.
Yeah, they could come back at the Park the Princess, and they would be doing fantastically. They would be playing very well, we hope. But then again, it was shattered dreams yesterday. They had opportunities to score, same with PSG as well, but they didn't take their chances.
I saw a tweet. What happened to Declan Rice? He rose above the occasion when they played Real Madrid, scoring 2 fantastic free kicks. And they say, people started tweeting Declan Rice for Ballon d'Or, and I saw Declan Rice for Ballon d'Or, and somebody retweeted, which rice? Do you mean of Father Rice?
They don't want Declan Rice to rise.
Oh my goodness. Yes, they don't want him to rise. The rise and fall of...
but like you said, let's see what happens at Parc the Princess and in Paris. Just next week, so...
It's just next week.
It's not over.
Next week, Wednesday. Hopefully, they'll be able to turn the tides around and, pick up a victory. But funny enough, let me just say this here. There's a research done by football pundits. They found out that any time the Pope dies, an English team wins the Champions League, and it's been proven.
Yeah, so
proven by who?
I'm going to leave it it's there. It's fact. It's history. It's there. Anytime the Pope dies, an English club wins the Champions League.
City,
Liverpool, Manchester City. Yeah, it happened. Fact, it happened. So, coincidentally, people said, people said, and the Pope, just died. And then all eyes on Arsenal. Is it going to repeat itself?
The second leg is the final. Yeah. So
I have strong belief in Arsenal. I think they're going to win the second leg. I think they'll win it by 2-1.
Same here.
That's what I feel. And then they're going to advance. But I don't know if they would win the finals. I'm saying this in belief that Arsenal would prove me right. Not wrong. Because
Arsenal fans are currently on the hot seat. Let's not put further pressure on them.
By the way, this is Breakfast Central, not in the game.
Game on.
Please,
there is a show that discusses sports.
Our viewers.
Game on is there.
Yeah,
the game is there.
Once in a while, we just have to,
we're just showing off, we're jack of all trades and master of all. We know it all. Now I'm saying.
There's problem. There's problem.
Anyway. So let's get to breakfast conversation.
Yes, let's get to our first wake-up conversation this morning. There's pretty much a lot of stories to discuss this morning on wake-up conversation. There are stories of arrests and stories of someone evading arrest. I'm sure if you follow that story very closely, you would have, heard that a very popular person has been and was wanted by the EFCC.
Oh, yes.
It was said that she, in quotes, had spent a lot of money. There are cases of alleged money laundering. There are stories of her having celebrated a birthday party for a long time, of which videos also emerged and showed the governor who was
in
there.
Grenada.
Yes, in Grenada, and it was expensive. There are different stories, different interpretation to this story. But the highlight is that the EFCC has started work all over again. When we say started work, it's not that they've not been working, but now they started making a long list of arrests. E-Money was also allegedly arrested.
For Naira mutilation.
Yes.
I have my
2 days
own
ago.
reservations for
Please,
that.
let's talk about that very quickly before we come to
Yes.
the reservations about E-Money.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was spraying pounds. He wasn't even spraying Naira. And it was said that it was alleged that his leg touched Naira that was on the
That thing
floor.
was so ridiculous.
I mean, EFCC, your Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, look, corruption is one of the biggest issues dealing with Nigeria. And you focus on such non-issues, like, I'm not saying it's right to mutilate the Naira, but the National Orientation Agency, Ministry of Information can do public service enlightenment. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't go, exactly, it's beginning to look a little targeted. And then your energy should be on other, like your main responsibility. It's so petty. Are you going to go to all the marketplaces, the women that put mutilated Naira inside their bra and start harassing them?
It just feels like
that's
they're constantly on Instagram and TikTok looking at videos to say,
that's even worse. I mean, it's ridiculing the mandate of the EFCC.
What happened with the Shadi Okoya boys when they were using
and if you're going to
trade content and do all that, let's not be
you should
selective.
follow through.
Let's not be selective in our justice, really. But it's just really a number of people, and I don't blame them when they start to now bring tribal colorations to conversations like this.
I mean, because what is good for the goose should be good for the gander.
Exactly.
You had a situation, a clear violation on video, abuse of a policeman, which was even worse. The policeman was holding the money for them, like a houseboy. And, you know, the case was swept under the table.
And then you arrested the police
arrest
officer.
someone for his leg just
They actually
touching
arrested the police
Naira.
officer and they called him for,
So it's really not fair. Justice is blind, and justice shouldn't be biased.
Shouldn't be selective at all.
or selective.
It's a big case, but then again, it calls to mind the same statements people have been making about the EFCC. Is the EFCC a hunt watchdog? In other words, are they being used by, of course, those in power? It seems like as soon as another person comes into power, as long as it's the number one citizen that has the power to put who is supposed to fight corruption,
it won't be independent.
Almost everyone has said it's not going to work.
Right.
It should be independent so that even you, the president, can be called out by the EFCC. They can tell you, Oga, we've seen that you're spending these money. Where's the proof? We need you to explain to us. Just like what you have, what are they called? Our guys who sue regularly.
Serap.
Yeah, Serap. It's supposed to be like a Serap. Surreptitious. Wow. It's supposed to be like a Serap position where you just go ahead and call negativity out, but I don't understand.
And investigate the EFCC's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The CBN should even be more concerned about the Naira mutilation or the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company that print the Naira. What is the business of EFCC with that? And it's very petty. There are very serious issues.
I mean, we have cases of white money that did not, white lion, I beg your pardon.
Exactly.
It seems the case
of
is dead.
Kogi State, yes. Once you join the ruling party, it said that deodorant will be used for your corruption case. But if you're opposition, they use a shell talks. Sorry, marketing. Shell talks is it doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore. Exactly. That's what we used for back in the day. But just to come back to the case of Aisha, to say that her lawyers have said that she was not, she honored the EFCC's investigation. She knew that she had to be there. So she came there willingly, and they're surprised that if she came there willingly, why was she arrested? Why was she picked up at the airport? It's been reported now that she's declared a hunger strike within the EFCC custody. They will not eat until they do what needs to be done. Investigations are still ongoing.
These are clips of the
birthday party.
Oh,
yes, she had such a frivolous, a lavish, I think lavish is the word, lavish birthday celebration.
The difference between party is when you arrange chairs and put canopy. This is what you call a birthday bash.
She's expected to be in court this morning. The EFCC has said that she has to be in court for the proceedings.
Olive.
This morning. So, I mean, Olive, take a look at this.
I challenge you. Your next birthday, you need to top this up.
Wow. I know I cannot afford
wow. Take a look.
Olive, we're here now. Wow. You have Odogu, 2 Odogus by your side.
Odogu power. Very likely.
What are you saying?
Just speak for yourself. I have family. Say who?
Well, it was a really lavish celebration that lasted for 1 week. From one place to another. You know, they went to different islands. It just felt like people, of course, I think it brought a lot of spotlight. It put a lot of spotlight
on her. So you think the EFCC invitation is connected to this?
Well, it might be in some sense, because remember that in 2024, when she did her party, she celebrated it in Grenada, and then you would see that she went to, the guests were alternating between Calivini Island and Silver Sand. So it just felt like that 7-day extravaganza, when it's as lavish as that, in a way, it might draw attention. But of course, there's more to that, as there have been allegations against her. There were allegations against her for, corruption, fraudulent allegations, and she's expected to appear in court. She was declared wanted in March 2025 over allegations bordering on criminal conspiracy and money laundering.
Yeah.
But we'll continue to follow up with the case and see where the next steps are. She's declared hunger strike, and we don't know what the next steps will be, but her lawyers are constantly speaking up and criticizing the way and manner her case has been handled. Palau, let's move to another story.
Yeah, let's move to the next story. Well, I think just last week rather, here at Wake Up Conversations, we spoke deeply about the state of the nation, especially focused on Lagos State. How street urchins seem to have
I even did a Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, exactly. How they've taken over the state one way or the other. It's like every street, every corner, every area, you have them. And then you also have who I love to call the roamers. They just roam freely. You don't know what they do. You don't know who they are. These are people who can be used to perpetrate evil at any instance, because you're wondering, are they roaming to beg for money, or they're roaming to seek opportunities to steal?
Good.
So you don't really know. And the Lagos State decided to take action. There are videos circulating online where they decided to go to different, nook and crannies.
Hotspots.
Hotspots where these guys usually lounge and take some time to meditate, if you understand what I mean. Meditate with something in hand, and they decided to go there and clamp down on them, ensure they had arrests, about 71 of them. And the thing I don't understand about the header, when it came from Lagos State and the message, it said they are suspects. And I'm saying, suspects for what? It's better we just tag them and call them who they are. They're suspects for what? Are they suspects for criminal activity? If they're miscreants, they're miscreants.
Yeah, but this is also an indictment on us as a people. I mean, Lagos State can absorb, you know the migration patterns. People coming to Lagos in thousands every other day without accommodation. They've turned the public places to their accommodation, and there's only so much. I mean, it's almost like they're breaking, the system is at its brink. So how do you absorb all of these people into society? It's also, I mean, able-bodied young men that have zero employment. We complain that we don't have food, that food is expensive, and all of this. What happened to farming? I think countries like Indonesia and Malaysia have this farming settlements. They built them, they have schools, entire communities, palm plantations where, people work, they can send their kids to those schools. No able-bodied man or woman should be begging in 2025. You can put that energy into good use, and it's because of the lack of jobs and employment. That's why we see all the street urchins and area boys everywhere. That saying rings true all the time. The idle mind is the devil's playground.
It really is. Yeah. It really is. I mean, we've definitely had a problem with street urchins. It's a thing here in Lagos, almost like when you're driving the able-bodied young men who will be at your window. The squeegee boys will try to wipe your what's that thing called? Windshield.
Yeah, windshield.
Right? They're trying to wipe it because they want money. Beyond that, we see them just beyond begging. They're those that when you want to park, you go to an establishment that has a parking space, yet these street urchins want to collect money from you to park, almost like it's their right for you to do that.
There's a whole section of them. There are those that are even entitled. They feel you owe them something because, I mean, you look better than them, or they feel you've had a better life than them, so you have to drop something.
Or you were not there when they were. They were not there when you were parking, but you come out and they're like, now we watch your car since.
So I wonder how women cope in Lagos, because if men like us feel harassed, and I really feel harassed, I don't like it when these guys just come up to me like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? Why are you hailing me? Did I tell you I'm a chief or something? Please just leave my side. So imagine what you'll be going through.
So I think for us women, we alternate, or for me, let me not speak for other women, I alternate between two extremes. Either I just keep a straight face and don't say anything because I don't want to talk, or I feel the urge to be unnecessarily nice and be like, oh God, no vex, so I do not come and beat me. Please, I no get, no vex, sorry, you know.
But if Lagos is a smart city, I think this is a smart move as well. So smart is good. But then again, some of the hot spots that they went to Victoria Island, Oniru, Ikoyi, Akpongbon. Yes, they went to Oniru, Akpongbon as well. I mean, you see them a lot in Oniru. I think they're always waiting for the Oba.
I think this is around that 4 points, if I'm not mistaken.
They also went. Bank. Exactly.
Area.
And they started at 12:30 a.m. in the middle of the night, while, like I said, they were actually, meditating. So they ensured that they caught them at that time. 71 suspects were arrested. They called them, and normalcy was restored to the affected areas. And I mean, that's pretty much it. But let's see what this would portend. Please let us know. Tweet us. There was a tweet by Honorable Tokumbo Wahab. He said, in continuation of the Lagos State Environmental Taskforce team cleanup, enforcement operation, they got into that, and they got into this operation to rid the state of criminal elements. The agency set out at, of course, the time we mentioned, which is 12:30 a.m., and he mentioned the hotspots that they went to. During the raid exercise, a total number of 71 suspects were arrested and sanity was restored in the areas. All the suspects will be charged to court accordingly. That's what is being said. We are not here to just talk about this. We're also here to say well done. And I'm going to use this medium to say well done to Mr. Tokumbo Wahab. Why are we saying well done? It's high time. It's taking way too long. Lagos needs to be sanitized. It's not about sensitizing people, telling them what to do. It's about sanitizing, cleaning it up. We have too many people, like I said, who just are walking around, and we don't know what will happen next. So if you are able to clear them, please, let's have more of these exercises. I remember, and also
daytime rates too.
Yes,
along that Lekki.
Yes, that Lekki. You see corridor, that Lekki from
traffic lights
down to Aja. You find.
I mean, down to Freedom Way.
Freedom Way Junction.
Yes, yes, Freedom Way. You have them. It's like, have you guys been to Aja as well? It's like Aja now is the hub for I think is the epicenter for beggars.
Can it be as bad as Freedom Way?
It's bad. No, it's bad. Trust me, it's bad. It's worse. It's worse. You have, in a day, you have over 35 beggars in a stretch. And I don't mean just beggars. Families. Mother,
kids
4 children,
on the highway.
4 children. Then you have these guys.
Serious danger.
It's danger.
And they're using them as a business model. They some of them rent twins, baby twins, to go beg with. It's a whole racket. And the government needs to do something about it. You shouldn't allow parents to abuse their children or put them in danger in such a manner.
I just wanted to highlight before we wrap this up. Sorry, Gbenga. I remember Governor Fashola's time. I witnessed it with my own eyes. Remember the governor then of Lagos State, that's Governor Fashola said that he doesn't want to see people who don't belong to the state. In other words, the street urchins, everybody coming in, the area boys and so on. But he didn't really touch on the area boys per se, let's be clear. But he touched on the fact that you had these migrants who were coming to beg. I saw trucks parked, and he was parking these people. They were parking these people, they were raiding them, throwing them into the trucks and taking them out of Lagos. And then it caused a little fracas between himself and, of course, other state governors who said, why are you bringing these people back? He said, once identify, what state are you from? And he said, I'm from Ondo. Oh, yeah, back to Ondo. And then they moved them back. And I think Lagos should be able to do that. It's not because Nigerians are not free to move around anywhere, but you cannot move from one place to the other causing trouble and mayhem for a state and ensuring that you're also a problem, a liability to the state as well. You know.
Right. I think we'll move to our final story.
Okay, and I think that's PDP National Working Committee. Is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. They had a conversation. They're looking at considering some recommendations, hopefully. Now, from yesterday up until now, if you also watched the News Central, which I believe you did, one of our primetime shows, which is Politics HQ, you had personalities come and speak, talking about the death of PDP, saying the party is indeed gone. It's not a party that you can revitalize, revamp, or resuscitate. It's dead. It's gone. And the former vice presidential candidate who has now eloped to, I don't want to use move, let's just say, because you're carrying something to run away from, somebody, you're taking people's mandate,
Exactly.
Like, he has moved anyway to the APC. He said he regretted having played the role of a vice presidential candidate to a former vice president.
It's so easy to speak after
presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. He regrets that it's something he wishes he never did. And from that statement, many have said, because of this breakout from the party, it seems like we're going to hear an announcement very soon that the party has indeed hit a state of comatose.
I don't think that they're going to ever come to that announcement. Okay, so just, I think that, yes, it's a really tough time for the PDP, but I don't think that they are completely, they've lost every fight.
Yes, they still have
a
number of governors.
They still have a bite.
So just to mention that the PDP NWC has set a meeting for the 11th of May, and at this meeting, part of what will be discussed is this main issue of governors who have defected to other parties, particularly the APC, and they're going to look for ways to sort of stall defection. I don't know how that's going to happen, because every governor has a right to defect. Every person has a right to freedom of association with whatever political party they want to. But the challenges with the PDP, I would believe that the major challenges started to shine when people felt like the PDP had lost control. When it felt like, first of all, there were forces within the PDP that stood as a force. Remember G5? When it felt like the G5 held the PDP to ransom. And then the PDP found a way, it felt like they couldn't discipline the G5. They moved on from the G5 governors. Then former Governor Nyesom Wike now became a principality and power within the PDP, almost like voice of, body of Esau, voice of, or body of Isaac. What was brother of Esau?
Esau and Jacob.
Body of Jacob, voice of Esau, something like that, or body of Esau, voice of Jacob. So that's what it felt like Wike was doing. In one political party, but looking like he's serving the interest of another political party. When people, even political bigwigs, political stalwarts, had said that the most important thing for them at the time was to take a strong stand to discipline Wike, the PDP could not. The PDP still cannot. So if the PDP has not been able to stand strong and say, you know what, we're standing our ground, you've acted in ways that are contrary to the party, ways that will see as anti-party. What you've shown is that anything goes. It's like with children.
Don't worry, Olive, on May 11, they will shock you.
Exactly.
They'll give you answers to all those questions.
Hopefully. Because it's like a child. When children will always test your boundaries. They do something, you don't do anything about it. They do another thing, you don't do anything about it. Soon they learn that you have no boundaries and that they can go as far as they want. I think that may be the challenge with the PDP, because people have started to see it as a party that does not have strong disciplinary and punitive measures for every members. But
anyway. Well, I guess we'll have more of these conversations as we proceed, but it's time for us to bring to you what our top stories would be today. And today we have a very special, yes, we call it a special segment here on Breakfast Central. We'd like you to stay put and ensure you join us. You could tweet us. You could also react to the story. We'll be looking at the exorbitant rate of, quotes, house rent in Lagos State. Our focus will be on Lagos State to look at the rent. We'll also discuss this, cleanup in Lagos State, because we will be having someone from the Lagos State, government join us here on the show. We'll also be looking at how much you should be saving up to pay for rent in a short while. All of these and many more. But let's tell you what we'll be discussing in the course of today's show here on Breakfast Central. Take a look at the top stories for today.